So this was a kind of a last minute thing just to that I just announced like a couple of days ago. And the reason why is because you watch this New Year's Eve celebration on Times Square, right? And you see who's sponsoring it, like Planet Fitness, and got all these people cheering and everything. And I have a Planet Fitness membership. I'm not knocking it. I mean, it's a gym with good equipment, but there's so many lies fed into the system, right? Planet Fitness sells memberships for $10 a month. And the thing about it is, if you look at their business model, they really do that so that they can sell unlimited memberships. Because when I go and I look at my crowd meter, it's never above like 10 or 20%. And the reason they do that is because they actually don't want you to come to the gym, because that would really mess up their whole business model if everyone who had a membership came to the gym. What they want you to do is to sign up for the monthly membership and pay $10 a month and then never cancel that, but also never show up. And that's why it's a great business model for them. But it sucks because it's not really good for you as a person who's trying to get in shape and keep the weight off. Because another really diabolical thing they do is they have this sign on the wall, and it says like every Monday is pizza night, and every Tuesday morning is bagel morning, and they give you pizza and bagels. That's like the worst thing you can eat for your fitness. Listen, guys, this is the first tip here. Like, stay away from wheat, from processed gluten as much as you can. But they know that, and they're giving that to you because it will keep you fat and keep you coming back to the gym and paying them that $10 a month for the rest of your life, because you're never going to get the results that you want. So that's what really motivated me to have this free challenge. There's no agenda here. There's no like sales pitch. Somebody in the DM had asked me like, well, what's the catch here? I feel like there's some catch. Well, there's no catch. Look, if you want to work with me, I have high-end clients that pay me $30,000 to work with them to get results. I also, because I know that's out of reach for most people, I have a program called Six Pack Dads. You can look it up on your own. It's about $1,000 right now. Or if you just want to buy my book, if you want to support me, that's cool too. But you don't have to buy anything. I'll just be giving knowledge over the next 5 days, starting today, to really dispel a lot of the lies and a lot of the myths that there are around getting a six pack. Because I mean, let's face it, it's awesome to have a six pack. Everybody wants a six pack, right? That's the dream. And for the longest time, I couldn't get one, and I just written it off like I'll never be able to achieve that in my life. But I'll explain how I did in this presentation here today on day one, because what I want us to do is get past the belief. Like, we have these limiting beliefs that something's not for us, or we just can't get it. But I'm going to tell you how it's easier. It's a lot more simple than you think. And we'll just have some fun here. And we're going to keep it really short and concise. We have, I think we had about, last time I checked, about 25 people sign up. So let me make sure nobody's like got the wrong link or something real quick before we jump in. If not, well, you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink, right? Okay, somebody just said, help me. Let me just send this really quick. This dude, jump in. We're live. All right. But you guys are here, so you get the benefit of it. All right, so today we're going to cover the scientific way to burn belly fat fast with the least amount of time effort. The number one reason that most guys fail at getting chiseled abs, even guys who work out all the time. And you guys have probably seen this like in the gym or online. These guys lifting these heavy weights, got big arms and stuff, but then they have like a pot belly. It's because they're not doing the right thing, right? You want to have the six pack. And the secret psychological ninja hacks to reprogram your subconscious so you never get fat again, even if obesity runs in your family, just like it does in mine. Now, sound off. Let me know where you're from in the chat. I know some of you guys, but let me know where you're joining from. Just shoot in the chat what city you're from. This is a small enough group. It's not doesn't have to be a seminar. It can be a conversation, so we can all get the most benefit out of it. And we're also going to cover how to get in the best shape of your life and how to look great naked with as little as 35 minutes of daily effort, how to eat clean without sacrificing the foods and drinks you love. And some of this we'll be covering on different days, not all in one day. how to have more energy, more confidence, and a stronger immune system and better sex. Again, let us know where you're at in the chat, man. Just shooting in there, whatever city you're from. And type yes in the chat. If you're excited to learn this stuff, shoot me a yes in the chat. Let me know you're here, paying attention, because I'm doing this for free. I don't have to, but I want to make sure that you get the benefit of this knowledge. Quick disclaimer here. Of course, this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. I'm certainly not your doctor. This is for information purposes only, but apply it to your life. You will see great results. However, results vary from person to person. A few things. Grab a pen and paper. You'll want to take notes on this information. I probably won't be sharing the recordings of these. If I do, it may be like for VIP customers or for members only. But make sure you take notes. Drop questions in the chat. We'll have a small group here. We'll compile all the questions and answer them at the end. If I'm able to, I'll answer them during the lesson here. We may have a surprise guest at the end. Interact and have fun. So let's see, somebody said, hold on, let me make sure people can get in here. I feel like something's not acting right. Did you guys, y'all registered and got the link through the email, right? Just want to make sure everything's working right with our technology. Just shoot me a thing if you did. I'm assuming you did. All right, so quick agenda. We'll go through my story, and then we'll go through 3 of the secrets. I'm not going to offer the challenge today, but you can get it. You know how to find it on your own. All right, email link worked, perfect. All right, so the biggest thing here, as we all get older, I'm 44 years old, so I know it gets harder, but your health is the #1 thing. It's the most important. The man with his health has 1,000 dreams, and the man without his health has but one. And that proverb has always stuck with me, and that's why I prioritize my health above everything else. So I can't get money if I'm not healthy. I can't enjoy myself if I'm not healthy. Health is the #1 thing. So who am I? I'm a busy dad with multiple businesses. I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I travel, I do speaking, I serve on boards. I don't have a lot of free time, but I still manage to keep a decent physique and have a 6-pack. So it's important to me that, when you look at getting a personal trainer, right? A lot of people want to go get the guy who's in the bodybuilding contest and has the most cuts and is on stage. Well, ask yourself, does this person spend 8 hours a day in the gym? And is that why they're in this shape? And do you have 8 hours a day to spend in the gym? But if they're a personal trainer by profession, then maybe, they look a certain way because they're always in the gym. So I would advise you to, whoever you're going to get to follow in your fitness journey, find someone who has a similar situation as you. Maybe they have a similar amount of free time in the day. Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Because that's going to give you a more realistic approach. And someone who can pull it off with those same variables, then you want to look at them so that you're not trying to apply a false reality to your reality. In 2020, and that's kind of what set me down this path of sharing this information, because in 2020, I won the cover of Best Self Magazine's Over 40 and Fabulous, which was pretty cool. Just a regular guy. When I was young, I had asthma. I could barely run a mile without losing my breath. I have obesity in my genetics. I barely actually go to the gym. I have that Planet Fitness membership just for if it's super cold and rainy and snowy outside, and I just got to get on a treadmill or something like that. But I barely go to the gym. And I didn't start running until age 30. And I am not a fitness trainer by profession. So if I can do this, then you can do this. That's the #1 thing to remember. At the end of this webinar, you'll know exactly how to get a flat tummy in 6 weeks. Now, I know what some people are thinking is that it's not possible. Well, if it is, it'll be too strenuous or too hard to do it. Some people are thinking it's not possible for me. Some people are just born lucky. Some people are thinking, oh, it's not possible for me because I have bad knees, or I have asthma, or I'm too fat, etc. Or I don't have the time, or other things are more important, or, oh, well, I'm not willing to give up bagels or ice cream or alcohol. And you don't have to do all those things. It's the truth. All of this, how much it costs? Too expensive. Again, I'm giving away this information for free. If you want to work with me, I already told you how you can reach out and do that, but you certainly don't have to. So all of these things are limiting beliefs. These are all just excuses. You just got to get these out of your mind and instead tune your reticular activating system to look at people who do it. The reticular activating system is the part in your brain that allows you to see certain things over and over. For example, let's say you're shopping for a car and you want a yellow Lamborghini or whatever. And then you start to see yellow Lamborghinis everywhere. You start to notice them, or whatever car you're looking for, and your brain starts to see them. It's not that they're more on the street, it's that you're starting to notice them more. It's a survival mechanism that all of our brains have to show us things that we need or want to be aware of in our subconscious. Well, the same thing happens when you're looking at examples of what you can and what you can't do. If I think in my mind, well, there's no other 45, 44-year-old guys out here with a six pack, and all I see are fat dudes walking around, then that's going to be my reality. But if I tune my brain, my reticular activating system to see, oh, well, that dude's my age and he has a six pack, and that dude's my age and he has kids and he has a six pack and he doesn't have a dad bod, and I only hone in on, well, what are they doing? That is how you train your subconscious to only see the results that you want, and then you can figure out how to get those same results. So the truth is, it is possible. Many others are doing it. It is possible for you, no matter what your circumstances are. It can be done in as little as 35 minutes a day. And belly fat is actually more dangerous than you think. So this isn't just about vanity. And without your health, little else matters. And you don't have to give up all of the foods and the drinks that you love. Any of you guys know me, you know I love to party, I love to drink, and I'm not giving that up just to like have a great body, right? I figured out how to do both. Like you can really have it all. And you can actually, that's related to something else. About making money. All right, so my story real quick. I was never that athletic. I was the last one chosen for sports teams. I wasn't fat, but I wasn't athletic either. And one day I looked down at the scale and I couldn't see my feet. And then I went to a family member's funeral and I realized, I looked around the room and I saw my uncles and my dad, and I was like, man, obesity is in my genes. Like, this is how I'm gonna look when I get older if I don't make a change. So then I started running, and in 2009 is when I ran my first Peachtree Road race, and I started to see some of the fat falling off then. My brother Aku actually encouraged me to run this race when I was age 30, and I was like, are you crazy? And then after that, I thought I was in shape, but then I went to the doctor. One of my frat brothers is a cardiologist, and I had high cholesterol. I'm like, dang, I thought I was doing everything right. And his team said I had high visceral fat, and visceral fat is your belly fat that's around your organs down here, and that is actually directly linked to heart disease. So that means it is a threat to your life. So they showed me the secrets to burn fat fast, and they held me accountable remotely from all the way over in Southern California. And so what they did is they put me up, they showed me how to do proper interval runs, which I'll get to, I think on tomorrow, on day 2. And then show me learn how to do proper exercises that would burn the fat off and get the results I wanted. And as a result, I ended up actually getting a more chiseled six pack that I always wanted, that I never thought I could have. And this is in my 30s. All right. So then you can see that kind of the progression here. I just do this shot at the end of the Peachtree when I run it. And this is what was it, like 8 years later, you can start to see the definition getting a little bit more defined. I lost 20 pounds in just a matter of weeks. I lost 8% body fat, had more energy and more focus. And I look and feel 10 years younger than I really am. Honestly, I feel like I'm 24 right now, and I'm really 44. So it's crazy the benefits of this. And you can see like the difference, like this picture right here, I was in the back of a cab in 2004. And then 16, 17 years later, I actually look younger than I did in that picture. And this is kind of the start of this in 2020. And of course, we had the pandemic and working down at home. I was bored. I posted this photo because I was getting stressed out. I needed to lose the weight, lost the weight. I started getting a bunch of questions from friends like, how do you have time to stay in shape? You know, what's your routine? I know you're a busy dude. What's your diet plan? And I have this belief, I think Steve Harvey is the one who said it, but if you've conquered a hill and you don't teach someone else how to conquer that same hill, then you are blocking your blessings. So I gave my buddies this information for free. And I wrote up my top tips. I typed up this document. I shared it with all my friends who had asked me. And guess what happened? They did absolutely nothing with the information. When you give somebody for free, they don't value it as much. So I hope that you guys are listening to this and know that this is actual valuable information. And I'm giving you guys the same information that I give my high-end clients. I'm giving it to you guys absolutely free. But don't be like these people and do absolutely nothing with it. Now, so this drove me a way to share my secret formula in a way that would get people to actually act, and a way that would produce transformative results regardless of fitness level, a way that would stick so you could implement this change at will at any point in your life going forward. Because again, my goal wasn't to be like a personal trainer and have to like motivate you every day. I want to give you the tools that I have in my head so you can motivate yourself, because that's what I do. I motivate myself. I don't have a trainer. So if I can equip you with that, then I've given you something that you can use for the rest of your life. I'm not, trying to get like just an ongoing client base out of this. So myth number one is that aiming for a six pack is too time consuming and it's just for vanity. The truth is, doing proper high intensity interval training actually works, and it should only take about 35 minutes. And I'll get into high intensity interval training more on tomorrow. The truth is that most people do this wrong. They think that it's just running fast and stopping and running fast and stopping. That's actually the complete wrong way to do it. There's this precise way to do it. I'm going to give you all the equipment that you need at the end of today so that you can go get the exact equipment and you can cancel your gym membership if you want to. Another thing you can do is rapid fire but you should do is rapid fire strength training, as opposed to just going and trying to lift a bunch of heavy weight and injuring yourself and then you can't do anything. And you can do all these body weight exercises at home. And you need some accountability and feedback. Have a partner, have somebody to actually give you feedback on what you're doing. Have somebody watching, because that is what is going to accelerate your results. And we have like 40 other tools in the main Six Pack Dads program, but I want to keep this brief, so I'm not going to get into all of those. But the thing about it is, a lot of the stuff I'm going to share with you over these next few days is that if you do what everybody else does, you'll get the results that everybody else has. So think outside the box here. You got to break the mold of what you've heard over and over again, because if the information that was out there freely was accurate, then everybody would be walking around with a six pack. But everybody's not walking around with a six pack. So do what's unorthodox and what I have learned over the past, 14 years through trial and error, through studying, through applying different things to me and other people who've gone through my program. I know exactly what works to get the results that you want. So belly fat has the highest risk. So if you look at like visceral fat, where it says VF here, this is what covers up your organs down here from the side. You want to reduce this so that there's only like a thin layer of visceral fat. And because again, this is linked directly to heart disease. So you can see here that the highest risk actually, so this guy actually, his belly, like on the subcutaneous layer, on the superficial layer, isn't that big. But just under that, the layer of fat that's right above the organs is what's big, and that's the most dangerous when it comes to heart disease. So we want to keep these down. So I'm going to show you exactly how to burn those off, because the fact is we all have a six pack. It's just covered up by fat. So you have to shred it away and then develop those muscles so that you can see it, and it will help you live longer. So what's your why? First of all, you got to have a strong why to keep you motivated to do anything, right? You want to toss around your kids, have better sex. You want to be in a better mood. You want to attract more partners if you're single. You want to live longer. You want to look younger. You want to not be ashamed to take your shirt off. I got to say, it's a great feeling. I can go anywhere in any country. I'll take my shirt off and I feel no shame about it. It's the ultimate level of confidence. And people ask me, and they're like, well, dang, you charge these high-end executives like $30,000 to work with you. Well, relatively speaking, that's not a lot of money for them, because if you look at why do dudes buy these, spend $400,000 on a car, on a Ferrari, Lamborghini, or whatever, right? Why do dudes buy $100,000 watch and go flex at the club and drop, $50,000 of VIP? The reason they do all that is for confidence. but it's borrowed confidence. They are renting that confidence. It's not real confidence. Real confidence is if you know that you look good with your shirt off and you look good completely naked in the mirror and you have that 100% confidence with yourself. That cannot be bought. That is priceless. That you don't need cars and watches and all that. Nothing's wrong with that stuff if that's your thing. But if you're leaning on that for confidence, and I know dudes who do this, then that's just, it's false. I'd rather see you have pure, unfiltered confidence because you know how you look, even if you don't take your shirt off, but you know how you feel inside. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, butt naked, there's no other feeling like that in the world. And I want that for you. You want to have more energy? Do you want to have more confidence? Do you want to protect your loved ones? Here's a quick tip. If you want to give yourself a deadline, book what I call a shirt off event right now, like somewhere, a vacation, a race, somewhere where you're going to take your shirt off and post pictures on social media or wherever you're going to be in public. That's going to give you a deadline to actually make this happen. In fact, I have one. I do this throughout my life. This is just really how I live. In fact, I have one coming up. My wife and I, we celebrate our 20-year wedding anniversary in February, and we're taking a trip to a really nice island. And I've already booked a photographer because I'm like, I want to be in the best freaking shape of my life because I know I'm going to be taking these photos, and the photos are probably going to end up being posted. And I want to look awesome. So I have this deadline. I guess it's about 6 or 7 weeks away right now. So I'm going to be doing these workouts anyway. So y'all might as well follow along with me and do it too. All right, so myth number 2 is some people were born lucky with good genes and this just won't work for them. Again, I explained to you, everybody has a six-pack. It's just been covered up by the sedentary lifestyle that we lead. Like we all, or most of us, like sit for the majority of our day, or we sit in a car. Like, okay, the average American gets up, sits in a car, commutes to work. Let's say they have an hour drive in traffic to work, sit at a desk for 8 hours, then sit in the car again for an hour on the way home, then sit and watch Netflix and chill, sit and eat dinner. There's no moving around. Our bodies were built to walk around, to roam the earth. There weren't cars back when humans came around. So we were built to be moving machines. That's just our original design. So the sedentary lifestyle is what's putting the weight on, and we all have it under there. Now, the longer you've been doing it, the harder it's going to take longer to get it off, but we can all do it. So the truth is, this works for countless others, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s. When I did the best self thing, all of these people, man, some of these women in here are like 60 years old. It's crazy how they just really put a lot of energy into their bodies and look great. So it's not just me. That's why I'm showing you this. And even if you look at celebrities like Lenny Kravitz, took this picture at age 56. I mean, dude is ripped, right? This guy, Jeffrey Light, he was 82 years old in this photo. So again, we're training our reticular activating system to break those limiting beliefs and see examples of, oh, hey, if they could do it, I can do it too. This is my frat brother Kelvin. He actually went through my 6-week program. He was 42 years old and he dropped this weight. So 4 months prior, he had started working out on his own. He dropped a lot of weight and he got even slimmer through the Six-Pack Dash program. And then this is an actual graduate of the program at age 60. This guy has grandkids and he has a six-pack. So this stuff works for every age. There is no excuse about your genetics or your body. Like, just throw all that out the window and you just put one foot in front of the other. We're going to make this happen. All right. And when it comes to the cardio, we'll get to cardio more on day 2, but it doesn't have to be just running. That's just what I prefer. And I used to hate running, but now I love it. I feel like it's the most efficient way to burn the fat. But it could be swimming, cycling, rowing. I mean, there's a bunch of ways that you can get the cardio in and get your heart rate up. But we'll dive more into that on day 2. Myth number 3 is you need a gym membership. You really don't. I'm going to give you guys the exact minimum equipment that you need to do this at home and get the six-pack at home. If you have a gym membership, cool. Here's the biggest thing though. There's a research study about happiness and unhappiness. And they did this scientific study. And what they found was a direct correlation between the length of your commute and the amount of unhappiness, your level of unhappiness in life. So people who had longer commutes were the unhappiest. So the more you have to go somewhere, the less happy you're going to be. So my gym is about 15, 20 minutes away, depending on traffic. So that's time I have to spend. That's another barrier between me and working out if I'm depending on that gym membership. So if I only worked out at a gym, the chances are I'm like, oh, do I feel like driving to the gym today? And that's going to decrease my chances of working out. So remove that barrier and make it so you can do everything at home, or at least as close to home as possible. And that will improve your fitness level like that immediately. So here's the equipment list. And I know this is small, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and I'm going to send you guys a link of all of this exact stuff. Well, actually, I'm going to go through it real quick, and then I'm going to share a link. This is my exact Amazon cart. I'm going to give you a link. You can just load it in your Amazon, get all of it. If you already have some of it, then great. You can just fill in the gap. But first thing you need is some good running shoes. Now, if you're saying in your head, I'm not a runner, I get it, because I was the exact same way. And my wife was the exact same way. But my wife last year committed to a goal of running a 5K every month, so that at the end of the year, she would have 12 medals from a 5K. And she's not a runner. She hates running. She'll tell you that. But she did it. And so I believe anybody can do it. But even if you're going to run or bike or whatever you're going to do, or even walking is great. Now, I'll talk more about that tomorrow as well. But make sure you have good shoes. A lot of times that makes all the difference. My frat brother Kelvin, who I showed a few minutes ago, he hated running too, and he was like, man, EK, when I get out here, man, my knees hurt and this and that, and I can't breathe. I was like, man, what kind of shoes are you running in? It was just some old like basic like tennis shoes that weren't designed for running. Man, the quality of your running shoes can improve your oxygen efficiency. It makes it so much easier for you to run. The padding also helps your legs, your knees. I mean, the quality of your running shoe is a big deal. So you can keep it simple. Just go on Amazon and search for men's running shoes, or you can go by ratings and just buy one. But what I recommend is, if you're new at this, go to an actual like running store, like a specialty running store. Just Google specialty running store in your area, go to like a Big Peach or something like that. And they'll put you up on a machine and watch your running form for a while and actually like recommend shoes for your running style, so that you get exactly the shoes that are best for you. But it makes all the difference in the world. The next thing is you want to get a Fitbit or some type of pedometer that counts your steps every day. If you are not getting a minimum of 10,000 steps every single day, there's no way you're going to achieve this. All right. Again, you see these guys in the gym who are like, oh, all you need is 10 minutes of cardio, just lift weights. That's why they're fat with muscle. But if you want to have the six pack, you got to burn that visceral fat, and you got to do it by getting steps. And I have a Fitbit. You can also, there's an app called Pedometer Plus on your Apple Watch. It'll kind of turn your Apple Watch into a pedometer, and it'll keep track of your steps. But I personally like the Fitbit interface and the community, and they give you, like rewards and stats, and it's just really clean and easy to see. And they don't even cost that much. I mean, it's 50 something bucks. So just invest in a Fitbit. The Withings Body Smart Scale. So this helps you measure your body fat, and it syncs directly with your phone so that you can keep track of your body fat. Your body fat percentage is the most important measurement, even more so than your weight. People focus on just losing weight. The problem with that is that you could be losing actual muscle mass. You want to make sure that you're losing fat. And the exercises that I'm going to show you focus on actually losing fat. But what you want to improve in your life, you have to measure it. That which isn't measured doesn't get improved. So get this scale, the Withings Body Plus Smart Wi-Fi scale. Get some dumbbells. I mean, this is a great affordable set right here that you can do at different weights, but you need a set of dumbbells. And this is probably one of the most important things. You need a pull-up bar. I have two pull-up bars in my house. I have one upstairs and one downstairs, because pull-ups are like the best workout that you can do for your abs. People think it's sit-ups, but it's really pull-ups. So you can get this exact pull-up bar that fits on any doorway for $50. And then the last thing is a heart rate monitor. I love the Scosche armband heart rate monitor, because now you can get one that goes around your chest also, but I feel like my chest is restricted with those. So I prefer the armband monitor when I'm running, it's extremely important that you measure your heart rate as you're doing these runs, because that's what's going to allow you to get the best results. When I show you guys specifically how to do high intensity interval training for the maximum fat burning results. What that will do is allow you to burn calories into the next day. 16 hours after your workout, you'll still be burning calories, but you have to measure it. You can't go by a feeling. So I like the Scosche Rhythm heart rate monitor. If you have an Apple Watch, it's a great heart rate monitor. I use this after Apple came out with the watch and had good like a dependable, accurate heart rate monitor built into it. I stopped using the Scosche and I used my Apple Watch. So I'm going to share this link. I'll just drop it in the chat. Let me see here. I'm going to drop the link to my exact Amazon card in the chat. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them, or you can even unmute and just holler. All right, so that link right there will allow you to just click it. It'll load that whole cart. It uses this plugin called Share a Cart, and you just it's a free plugin that you put into Chrome, and then it'll load everything in that shopping cart into your Amazon cart. And then you can just take out the stuff you need, or there's some other stuff you want to get or change, like or get different shoes or whatever, you can add those into your cart. But that is your homework, is to get the equipment. Go ahead and get the equipment so that you can do this. Don't put it off. Don't give lame excuses. Just get the equipment so that you have it, so that you can actually make this happen. You can achieve the body that you want in 2023. Because you're going to need this equipment to execute the stuff that I'm going to tell you on day 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Your second homework assignment is to do 10,000 steps between now and tomorrow, and find a way to measure it. Hopefully you can. I hope you have at least an Apple Watch or your phone, some way to measure your steps, but show me that you got at least 10,000 steps when you join this call tomorrow. And I'll have a prize for you. But that's number one thing. 10,000 steps, that's your homework assignment, and get all the equipment. All right. So any questions before we leave? Because I told you all I'm gonna keep these really brief. Nope.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. All right. We got
Yeah.
Chuck
Hello?
D. Yep, I hear you. What's going on, Chuck?
Hey, what's up, Cham? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I actually been training pretty much all my life or whatever, but I'm still off the dad thing. I used to box and played football. Even did a little bit of personal training myself. My main issue is I do now, like as far as cardio, probably do maybe about 20 minutes on a treadmill, but I usually do it at incline at about 15 and about 3.5. Well, I try to at least burn, the fat, but not, the regular calories.
So wait a minute,
If
you
that
said
makes sense.
15 what, miles per hour?
No. I do an incline of 15.
Okay.
And then my speed is about 3.5.
3.5 what, miles per hour?
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, is 3.5, is that like a walk or is that like a jog? How does that feel?
It's an uphill walk.
Uphill walk. Okay, got you. All right.
Yeah. So, do you find that way to burn more calories or more fat, or is that along the same lines as what you?
Yeah.
Because I like, in order for me to get my cardio in, I do more or less like I try to do more plyometrics type style exercise.
Okay. So we're gonna go deep into cardio tomorrow because it deserves like its own hour, really. But
Gotcha.
to give you a quick answer to that, doing uphill walks is a beneficial exercise, yes. But you only want to mix it up. That's the key. You don't want to do the same thing every day.
Right.
So when we get into the heart rate zone, so walking is going to be in your zone 2, which is your fat burning zone. So yes, walking. In fact, I'll show you guys. Well, it's in the full program, but we have videos of guys who just walk around, walk, and they got like a 6-pack abs. And you're like, dang, this dude just walked. But the thing is, you need to mix it up to accelerate your results, which is what I teach people, because it's not, because you probably don't have a bunch of free time to just walk around. Walking is going to be the slowest path, but it will burn fat. So what you need to do is mix it up with high intensity interval training. You need to mix it up with some sprints. And when I say mix it up, like one day you may do the uphill walking, the next day you may just do like a long jog, the next day you may do high intensity interval training, the next day you may do sprints, and then go back to your uphill walking. But you want to vary up those exercises.
Got you
And
to mix it up.
yeah, that's going to accelerate your results the most, especially with the HIIT workouts, with the high intensity interval training workouts. When you get your heart rate up to zone 5 and let it come down, that's going to allow you to burn calories into the next day. So that then the next day, that doesn't mean you take a day off, but when you're doing your walking the next day, you get double the results because you're still burning calories from the day before when you did the HIIT, the high intensity interval training. So yeah, what you're doing is good, but you don't want to do the same thing every day.
Right. And my thing is like, to be honest with you, I'm trying to cut my time in the gym because I usually spend about an hour and a half in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like 45 minutes to about 30 minutes of cardio, and then everything else is lifting.
Okay. Man, that's a good mix. Yeah, I'll show you how to get more results in less time. But I mean, if you have an hour and a half to spend in the gym, that's awesome. That's great.
I mean, to be honest with you, man, like I told you before about me doing sports as I was younger, man, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like, the older you get, the harder it is, to get
Yeah.
off. And then, my profession, I drive trucks. So like for
Yeah,
me,
gotcha.
and then like you said, every day you kind of don't have the time because you still have life going on.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, if I had all day every day, then like you said, I would be walking around the gym, like you said, that that 8-hour body, but
All right.
it
Yeah.
burns you out. Yeah.
Yeah. And you recognize it. I mean, and it's tough with truck drivers because you're sitting down a lot.
Correct.
So you got to take an extra step to make, when you do have those breaks where you can walk around, you really got to get it in because you got to counteract.
Yeah. And one of the things that I kind of jump started, what I would do certain stops, I would just get out and do 25 push-ups,
Okay.
jumping jacks, things like that to kind of keep my body active. But yeah, at this point, it's like the older I get, I can't bounce back like I used to. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it where the weight isn't keep going up and going down, up and down, because that ain't healthy either.
Right. Yeah,
So,
we'll get you there. I mean, the first step is understanding the problem, right? And at least you're aware of and you understand the problem. And yeah, so that's why it's a catch, because the heavier you get, then the harder it is to work out, and then you get even heavier, and then it gets even harder. And then that's why eventually, after a while, a lot of people are like, you know what, screw it.
exactly.
Just get real big. But that's
Exactly.
it's gonna take years off your life, and that's not cool, So
Yeah. I mean, I can attest to everything that you're saying, and for the people who's listening and watching, hey, I mean, I've actually done it 3 times, but this time I just want to keep it off. First time I lost weight, I lost it's like 100 pounds. I did 100
nice.
pounds in like 6 months. Second
That's
time I
awesome.
did like 80 pounds. This time I'm down like to 60. So
Okay.
I just want that and be able to keep it off
That's
and
awesome, man.
maximize, the time
Yeah.
in which I do it. That's all.
Okay, cool. Well, make sure you tune in tomorrow and the rest of the week, man. We're gonna be
Oh
going deep on
yeah.
this.
I'm definitely in 7:00, right?
Yep, 7 o'clock.
Okay, all right. I'm done
All
with my
right.
question. Okay, all right.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if nobody else has questions, then we will sign out here, and I will see you guys at 7 p.m. tomorrow. All right. Peace.